All right. Good to see you, mate.
You too, buddy.
Even though it's not been that long since I've just seen you.
Upstairs, in fact, but these guys don't know that, so...
Yeah, definitely. Well, thanks for taking the time out of your busy day.
No problem.
So thought it would be a good idea we both thought it would be a good idea to do another product update video.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And this time I wanted to talk about iPECS Cloud Mobile.
Yeah.
So I think maybe as a start, maybe if you could just explain what the current service is. I know some of our resellers, partners will know about it already, but it'd be good to maybe if you can just explain it.
Yeah, sure. I mean, the simple way to describe iPECS Cloud Mobile today is it's a smart SIM. So historically, the problem with UC mobile apps is you and I are the human interface and defaulting to using what we know best, which is the native client on the mobile for making and receiving calls. Mm-hmm. So iPECS Cloud Mobile kind of removes that problem from the equation. So we put the SIM into the phone, which is the mobile service, and the user themselves notices no difference at all. So they make and receive calls through the native dialer app on the phone. And the unique thing about iPECS Cloud Mobile is it effectively turns your mobile phone into an extension on our cloud. So if you've got call recording, if you've got analytics running, that will apply to the mobile user as well as it will the people using
and the
phones.
mobile phone just has like an extension number.
Exactly, yeah. And the user can transfer calls back into the office to colleagues if they need to. So
and they can present mobile number, office number.
Yeah, pretty much think of it as the way you'd work on the cloud. What do you want to present as your outbound number? We set that up and that's how it appears to people when you're calling them. But, cool. Underneath it all, it's a mobile phone service.
Cool. No, that's really good. So, obviously, we've got a lot of our partners already using the product and customers that are out there actively using it as well. So, understand there's a new service coming. What are the kind of enhancements that we're going to have there? I'm guessing one of them is eSIM, is that correct?
Yeah. So just to clarify, I think the service we have today, we're constantly working to upgrade in the background. So there's been a whole load of updates to the service as is anyway. But yeah, I guess late summer, early autumn this year, we're looking to move the service to an EE-based service, which for us is great because they're recognised as probably the best mobile carrier in this country. And actually a little known fact is that the eSIMs will be available on the current service as well, but I think it's going to be more prevalent when we move across to the EE platform. But sure, I think eSIMs opens up a whole new world of opportunities for us potentially, because if you've got a phone that can take a physical SIM and it might be your personal phone, then your eSIM becomes like your business line.
So then you can do dual SIM. So rather than carrying a personal mobile and a business mobile around, you can just carry one device.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, that's cool. And so the current service, so you're saying about moving to EE, so the current service, I know that it's on Vodafone and O2, and it's multi-net. And with that, I guess, so new service is just EE. What do you think about the multi-net stuff? Is it better than it sounds? Are we going to lose anything there?
I think we were kind of excited when we first heard about multi-net, and I think it became a bit of a buzz phrase almost because there was other services that had offered something similar. But I think, when you're moving to something like EE, it's a very well respected network. There's network sharing agreements between the mobile carriers in this country. So I don't see moving from a dual network service to a single network service as any particular issue at all, because as I say, EE, fantastic network carrier, and there's agreements between them and other carriers in the UK. So
cool. And with the eSIM stuff, how would that help with being able to provide eSIM? How would you say that would affect maybe or enhance the provisioning? So at the moment there's a control panel for things like if the person lost their mobile phone, how's that going to be enhanced, would you say?
Yeah, I mean, the control panel that we have for the service will remain in place. And just on that, I think one of the areas we're looking to make more progress going forwards is to start being able to provide reseller, business partner logins, and then further down the line end user, and to give sort of tiered access into that. But that's something coming a few months down the line. But I think eSIMs will improve the provisioning service purely because there isn't that piece of plastic to send out. At the moment, as you know, we keep the SIMs here and they go out to the business partners. But I think having the eSIM removes that piece from the equation, so it's a much more I don't want to say instant, but it's a much more instantaneous kind of like setup process because it's all virtual.
Cool. No, that's cool. And something else that I know current partners like and should be really good going forward as well is how the product can kind of be white labelled and how a reseller can kind of badge it as their own.
Yeah, so one of the areas actually on the existing service we've been working to improve is the whole provisioning aspect. So we've got a new form that is provided to our business partners at the point of them ordering, and that contains a bunch of key information, and it essentially allows us to make the provisioning process a lot more slick. But one of those elements is white labelling, as you say. So we have the ability on our ICM service that if a particular business partner has a brand around their mobile and network services, we can, in theory, present that in the mobile as opposed to ICM, which is what users will currently see in the corner of the mobile screen.
Yeah, cool. No, that sounds really good. So I guess it could be like a partner Lily, they could just call theirs Lily Cloud Mobile or whatever.
Whatever the brand is. I mean, obviously you've got limited space on the mobile, but
Cool.
I get your point. There's opportunity to brand. So
cool. Okay. And the last thing I wanted to ask about, I think unless I've missed anything, was just the price. So obviously with this, it's a device of the cloud platform. It has call recordings. It's a white label product. You can do extension number dialing, choose if you want to present the office number or the mobile number, eSIM. What's the price like? I'm guessing it's just like a normal mobile product. It must be.
Yeah, I think good question. I think there is a perception maybe that, when we talk mobile, there's an expectation that, if I go and buy a business mobile on Vodafone or O2, I'm paying X, that we expect to pay the same on iPECS Cloud Mobile. I think, I would always be careful to manage expectations there because this is positioned as something more than just a mobile service. We're bringing your mobile users into the remit of iPECS Cloud. An end user customer today that has iPECS Cloud, but then they have their mobile phone separately. What if they have a requirement to record calls and to monitor calls and to, have something like analytics in the background? How do they manage that for their mobile users? I mean, you could argue that iPECS 1 is one way to go, but that's not ideal for everybody. So that's a long way of saying, no, it's not the same price as a standard business mobile. But
recording calls at a network level is really expensive, isn't it?
Exactly. So we've made a lot of effort over the past 18 months to constantly work on the pricing because we still recognise, it's still going to be compared. So we've done a lot of work on that. And I think as you see the EE service coming through, whilst I can't make any promises, we are doing a lot of work to drive the cost down a bit more. So we are trying to be in a position where we're giving something comparable to a normal mobile phone in terms of costs, but with the added benefits of, like say, call recording, features, functionality, transferring calls, iPECS analytics to do the analysis on it as well. So,
and just the call recording, that's great, really. I mean, there's lots of industries that need to record all calls, and if people are making calls on their mobiles, that's really important. And I guess a lot of the time the staff member isn't always going to remember or be bothered to go into an app every time they have to make a business call.
Exactly, right? And that's the point I made right at the beginning. Particularly as you get to bigger organisations, finance, legal, where there is a requirement to record calls, you don't have that control over the human interface as much as you might try. So having something like iPECS Cloud Mobile ensures that if people are doing business and they're taking business calls on their phone, if you do have recording set up on iPECS Cloud, it's going to get captured as well. So
yeah, that's cool. What's going on with roadmap? So what other exciting enhancements do you think will be coming down the line?
So I think the two big things that we get asked for, as you well know, is Wi-Fi calling and 5G. So I actually learned something the other day about working with a provider like EE. They take their time to extend certain features out to what they would consider their third-party partners. So it's on the roadmap, but the reason for pointing that out is that there's no specified time at this point. What I can say is we're working towards this calendar year to have Wi-Fi and 5G, but I'll update you and the partners as we get closer to that. But it's certainly on the roadmap.
Cool. No, it's perfect. Was there anything else you wanted to mention?
No, I think that's about all really, mate, on this one today.
Cool, perfect. No, enjoyed it. Looking forward to getting the products and being able to use it, I guess, and
Me too.
and being able to sell it.
Yes.
Cool, nice one. All right, well, let's wrap it up there and catch up again soon.
Thank you for having me.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, buddy.